Welcome to another episode of Two Generations, One Mic. My name is Andie, and I'm here with my husband, Mark. And today's episode is called, I don't know, I wasn't even born yet.
Now, yes, and the reason that it's called that is because we've explained before in our backgrounds, I spent the majority of my career in television and radio, and so many people that she'll meet now will know me from that, and they will always come up and try to reference things to her. Oh, do you remember when he did this on the radio or on television or this or this? And it was a lot of references from the 80s and 90s, and she's like,
I wasn't even born yet. So I was born in 88, but of course I don't remember him being like this personality in the 80s and 90s. I was like, what, 2, 3? And that usually gets them. And they're like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, you have no concept of a lot of references that they're making, especially musical references or things like that. You just don't get it. We have this discussion all the time about music because, like, one of the big things in the 80s was, especially in the clubs, were like industrial dance music.
Satan's music?
Yeah, you call it Satan's music.
That's Satan's music, bro. I'm telling you, it's horrible.
Right. Well, it's.
I mean, no offense to the people that like that music, but it's like I just went to East Berlin or something in the 80s, and it's just like a bunch of random noises and
see, that's what my generation could also say about your music, EDM. It's very similar. I think it's just EDM is the industrial music in the generation for today. It's a lot of beats. It's just a lot of music.
Yeah, and but then you dance to it.
Like, well, you do that too. And they dance to it. That was actually called dancing, what they did in the 80s and 90s.
It's just a bunch of nonsense.
Well, yeah, but at that time, the X helped, at that time. Because X was,
you mean like ecstasy?
Yeah, because that was actually legal. I'm old enough to remember when X was legal. They actually, when it was first made, they put it it was like just in jars on the bar. You could walk up and grab some X that was legal and pop some.
So what, like, people just had like peanuts right there sitting at bars?
People weren't stupid enough to eat a handful of them, but you go get some X or whatever. It was totally legal in the clubs when it first started, and then they outlawed it, obviously. I think this is how bad I am with drugs now because I don't do them, but I think isn't X what Molly is today to your generation?
I wouldn't know, Pepe.
You don't do the Molly?
Know. I don't do the Molly. I'm sleeping at 7 p.m. You think I would be doing Molly?
No, that's true. That's true. You are not. So there's a lot of things that have to do with our different generation because I'm 25 years older than you that you don't get.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that, like, at all. Also, I don't get how you guys survived without maps. I mean, like, without
Google Maps or Apple Maps or Google someone Maps. Talking to you in the car.
Yeah, like, how do you guys manage to get places? I just feel like, I don't know how you guys managed to do that.
Well, we had someone talking to us in the car telling us where to go. It just wasn't a computer voice. It was a person.
What if you didn't have a person?
Well, then you had to pull over to a gas station. You had to go get a map, a paper map, and then you tried not to kill yourself by reading it while you were driving your car. So you would pull over and try to figure out on this map, where the hell am I at? Okay, I'm here. I got to get to here. What do I got to do? And that's what you have to do. That was old school style. And we also, one of the things that I used to get so frustrated from you because you would never not know how to get anywhere if you weren't listening to a computer telling you where to go. I always say, you could read the street signs on the freeways and figure it out too.
No, that's dangerous.
Well, that's why they're there.
No, today when we were driving, I was like, look at the map, and you're like, I cannot look like the screen in our car, like look at the screen. He's asking me direction. I'm like, no, look at the screen. I can't look at the screen at the same time I'm looking and I'm driving. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yes, you can. You just multitask. And he's like, no, I can't. I was like, oh gosh. See, I don't know how you're still alive driving with normal maps and just getting places.
Well, I got there. I mean, it's taken you longer, but you still got there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of little instances like that where you just don't understand how we did things or how we still do things. Or like yesterday, you brought your little play toy here. I actually opened a can of tomato sauce with this. And at first, this is the cutest thing in the world because I picked it up. I actually pulled it off our fridge because it stays there because you can see she opens her beers with this.
I thought it was a beer opener. All this time, I thought it was a beer opener. I was like, okay, that's cool. It's very practical.
I took it off the refrigerator to open a can of tomato sauce. She goes, what are you doing? said, I'm opening the tomato sauce. He goes, with the beer opener? I said, no, that's what this side is for. You use this side, you make one big hole, you make a smaller hole. So physics, it flows faster.
No, I thought this was a beer opener and this was a pokey beer opener. Like
A pokey beer opener.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I never thought there was a can opener. I'm used to like the normal can opener. But this was amazing. Thank you for showing me that. Like if one day we're post-apocalyptic and I need to just open holes
in cans. There you go. It's almost as cute as one of the very first things that she did when we first got together. We've been together for 10 years. Well, together for 12, married for 10. And one of the cutest things I'd ever seen in my life was she went into our kitchen, or my kitchen at the time, and she literally looked in the sink and she goes, "What is this? What is this?" I said, "What is what?" She goes, "This." I said, "The garbage disposal?" She says, "Yes, what is this?" She had no concept of what a garbage disposal was.
I mean, I don't think that's a generational thing. I think that's a cultural thing because where I grew up in Mexico City, you don't have garbage disposals because the drain can't handle it, right? It's just like in New York City. When we lived in New York City,
Manhattan,
we didn't have one. And I was so mad. Like in Europe, we don't have one, in Spain. And that to me says freedom. That to me says America.
When you have a garbage disposal?
Like garbage disposal. That to me is like, I'm right here where the freedom is made.
Well,
like,
also too, the reason they don't have them is because the plumbing is so old.
Yeah, of course.
Our building in Spain was built in the 1800s.
Yeah.
So everything is very much older there, and the systems can't handle it. Same thing with New York. Those are old structures, and they can't handle it. I would guess probably same thing in Mexico City.
That's
unless
right.
it's a new structure with new plumbing that's associated with it, then you physically couldn't work right. It would clog everything up.
But we make it work. I mean, even with the age difference, we make it work because I'm like an older soul, I think. He is the one that wants to go out. And I'm like, can we just stay home? Like, why do you have to go out? Like, and for us, going out is kind of like just going out to have a couple drinks at 7 p.m. Unless we're in Spain. And usually,
in Spain it's 7 p.m. Here it's happy hour, like 5, 6 o'clock.
Because here, if it's earlier than that, people judge you, like in America, people judge you if you drink earlier than that. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole other episode. And I just think we make it work because you're like the one that parties,
I'm the young soul.
You're the young soul. And I'm like...
and you're your mom already.
I am. I want to have dinner at 3 p.m. and I just want to be in bed by 7. And just sleep 12 hours.
Yeah, her mother lives with us in Spain. And your mother is how old?
71.
So she's 71 years old. She lives with us in Spain. She grew up in Mexico City. She doesn't speak a lot of English. So
that's also really fun.
So she has this way she's always lived her lifestyle. And so she gets up in the morning. She eats her breakfast is at 11 a.m. and her dinner is at 3-ish, 3:30, sometimes 2:30. That's it. She does not eat another meal later.
She eats
snacks, but she doesn't eat a meal. And so she likes us to eat with her, or tries to eat with us. And I cannot tell you how many arguments we've had because we have work, we have business, we have meetings, we're out, we're doing things. And we're like, okay, we're not going to be back until like 4:30 or 5. And she's like, oh, I can't eat at that hour. That's crazy. She just loses her mind if we're not eating by 4:30 or 5.
Well, because she's already in bed by 7.
Right. Well, she's already in bed by 5. She wants to eat her dinner at 3 and be in her pajamas by 5. And then when if we're out, God forbid, we're going out at 7:30 or 8, she's calling you an alcoholic because how dare we be out so late.
Well, but I also don't like that. Like I really enjoy being at home with you, the puppies. We have 3 puppies, 2 senior dogs. Well, the 3 of them are senior basically now, 15, 14, and 10. And I just like that. I like to be watching TV, cuddling with you guys. And to me, that's the moment where I think, this is it. This is family to me. We don't have kids together. So to me, this is family. This is the moment that I enjoy. And I feel like if we go out, it disrupts that. I mean, when I was younger, believe me, I worked at nightclubs. So I spent so many nights working in the service industry that is just so you enjoy sleeping a lot when you leave that industry. Like you like to just stay in. You hate the noise. I don't like noisy places. I think since COVID, probably like crowds. Oh, I can't take crowds anymore. Or maybe I'm getting older. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe both.
I think both. I think when you were 18, you started off as a bartender. You were bartending in a gay bar in Mexico City, correct?
Yeah, I was bartending.
And it didn't even open until 1. It stayed open from 1 in the morning till 7 in the morning.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Sometimes I was like, people just go home. Like, nobody loves you at home. Like, come on, go. And, I mean, the tips were great.
Mm-hmm. But your body clock got on that schedule where you're working from 1 to 8 in the morning
exactly
at a bar. So
and since I was like working on the weekends, I was going out in the middle of the week. Mm-hmm. And it was just not, I don't know, I enjoy sleeping now. I enjoy staying in and just watching the TV and sleep when I want to sleep. And I love sleeping. I am one person that I could be like sleeping on the floor until tomorrow.
Yeah, you're a cat.
Yeah, I'm a cat.
You sleep like a cat. It's amazing. And I don't like to, when we say go out.
Beauty sleep.
Yes. Well, when I like to go out, I don't ever like, it's never a thing where I'm going, let's go out. We're going to the club at 11 o'clock. And that's not my thing. No, it's more like, let's go to happy hour. We'll go somewhere. We'll have some cocktails. And then we're still home in time for the baby, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
I think the last time we went to a club, we were in Singapore. Remember?
Yes.
We were in Singapore.
We were in Singapore.
Sometimes when I drink, the devil takes over. And I swear I can party all night. I swear. But then it's midnight and I'm like drunk and tired. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And we were in Singapore and there was this really nice nightclub called the Marquee.
Yes.
Which they have one in Vegas, one in Singapore. And I told him, let's just go party. Let's go to the club. We're in Singapore. Why not?
Right.
Well, it was fun, but it was like, what time we had to be there? Like,
well, it was the way it works at these clubs though, that are this high end is either there's two choices. You go stand in this very, very long line to get in, or you have to buy a table. Now, what that entails is we're buying a table, which means we have to buy 2 bottles of liquor.
Alcohol,
and these bottles. So we had to buy 2 bottles of liquor. I don't know. I think it costs us about $800. Yeah. It's about $800 that we get a table, we get our mixers, and we get bottles of alcohol, and we have our own dedicated waiter.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the thing is. So we get there early again because, we don't want to get there like super late. So it's roughly like 10:30, right? 10:30, 11.
Like
and we're there.
Opening.
We get our little area set up. We get our little private area. We got our table and everything. And Andie's like starting to feel it, and she's like wanting to dance and the music. I've got some great videos of her. I call her super sweet moves, where she's just dancing. I don't even know what that dance would be called. I thought she was having a seizure, but she's dancing, and
I was trying to shuffle. Shut up.
Yeah, that's what that was. Okay, so she's doing that, and she's starting to get more frustrated by the minute because if you remember, we had not been in clubs in a while, and we didn't realize
10 years.
that.
I think last time we were there was when we were dating.
Yeah, so we haven't realized that I guess Gen Z people, they don't go there and start dancing.
Yeah, what's wrong with you people? You guys are not dancing anymore.
They
Why?
just go to the whole floor was covered by Gen Z people, especially a lot of the girls, and all they were doing, they were just on their cell phone. Standing on the dance floor on their cell phone.
Meanwhile, the music was great. Like Eminem is playing, and it's just all the right songs. Like people are not dancing. They're not even talking. They're just on their phones.
Yeah. So
what's that about?
She goes, "This is
that like
this is
that
very
in
depressing."
Everywhere in the world?
She goes, "You remember you're like, this is so depressing."
I know.
I can't get my groove on here. Here I got my sweet moves going, and nobody's joining me.
I was having my sweet moves, and nobody's dancing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong with these people? So I had a brilliant plan.
Yeah. So thank God because I drink Bacardi like it's water. So I had a bottle of Bacardi there, and you had gin, I think. Yeah. But I told our waiter, I said, go get me 2 giant trays of shot glasses. Bring some like peach schnapps and also bring like this, it was 7-Up or whatever, Chasers or whatever. I said, bring that and a shaker. We're going to make shots. And so we started making these giant trays of shots. And I said, okay, here, Andie, it's going to be creepy for me to be doing it because that looks weird.
Hey, you girl.
Hey, young girl, come here and have a shot. I don't look like a creeper that's trying to take you and hide you in a trunk somewhere. So I said, what I would do, I know, what am I, P. Diddy? So I said, look, you do this part, and I'm going to follow behind you, and I'm just going to videotape. And so I used my iPhone, and I just started shooting video. And so she went down with these trays of things, and she just started going, and she just basically just took charge of the dance floor and walked in there and was like, all right, girls, get off your cell phones. You're here.
Like, you look miserable. You need a shot. I was like, Oprah, you need a shot. You get a shot. Everybody gets a shot. And also the guys were like, what? I mean, I don't know if they spoke English or not. Probably yes. But all these girls look so miserable. Like if I was doing a date, like if we were dating and that was our date, I would be, I don't know. I don't think I would be. No.
But it worked because you had everybody
was dancing
and all the girls are drinking shots and they started going, and I started going behind them, shots. And they started doing shots and they're chanting shots and they're chanting
like,
USA. And
like,
so like, it was great. So you got, and they were all dancing. All of a sudden everybody started dancing on the floor and everything. And we started to walk off and I just looked at the manager and I went, you're welcome.
I know.
And we walked off and went back to our area.
And it was midnight, and then we're back at the hotel because, we're older people. And
our work is done here. And we went back to the Four Seasons.
That was fun. That was a fun night. But that was the last time we went to a nightclub, and I can't even imagine doing that every week.
Yeah. But
that's why our gap works in that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that much in other things, like technology-wise, you drive me crazy.
Yes. Well, and technology-wise, you move too fast. Sometimes you're just doing 8,000 things at once. And that's the other thing is you have ADD. And we look at things two different ways. When we have a laundry list of things to do, I make a list. And I knock one out, I mark it off. Next thing, mark it off. And I go down the list so everything gets accomplished. You do 20 things at one time and don't finish any of them.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah, but you don't finish the project.
I'll finish them.
So at the end of the thing, I have to come behind you and go, did you finish this? Oh, no, I haven't done that. Oh, no, I haven't finished that.
Here's how my brain works. A brain with ADD. I have a deadline of, let's say, something that is a week from now. I'll start it today, but I don't finish it until the day is due. Because I know I have the time. And in the process, I can do other things because that's not due yet. So I always finish by the date that it needs to be done. It's just, I perform under pressure. I like the pressure. That's why when we're at airports, I get there. I know it drives me crazy. I like the pressure. I like the rush. I like the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like if our flight leaves at 9:30 in the morning, I like to get there at 8:45 a.m.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's a whole other thing is us in the airports because we travel a lot. So we're always flying. And oh my gosh, when Tiffany goes with us sometimes, because my daughter Tiffany works for us, sometimes she'll fly. And it's three different mentalities when it comes to flying. I want to get to the airport roughly hour and a half, 2 hours early, check in. If we're checking luggage, we try not to, but if we have to check luggage, if we're doing for a long trip, we check luggage. I want to check luggage, get to the next spot, get through security, and we always have fast path through security. So we go through that really fast. And then my thing is, let's go to the lounge. I want to go to the lounge. I want to get my free alcohol. I don't care what time it is, by the way. If you're a world traveler, there's no time in airports. So if I have wine at 7:30 in the morning. It's like Vegas. There's no time in airports. Yeah. So I'll get a glass of wine and we'll chill. We'll get on the internet. We'll do some work, but I want to relax. Then, okay, we have this much time. We're going to be first boarding anyway. Let's stroll down.
But why?
And then we get on and we're in our plane and we get situated and we have everything ready to go. She, on the other hand, she wants to run to barely catch the flight every single time.
Because who wants to be at an airport for 4 hours? Like, why? Why do you want to just be doing nothing when you can utilize your time being more productive? Or maybe sleeping in another hour. I don't know. Why do you have to be there? Why? You can have wine at the plane. You don't have to have wine at the lounge.
I can have both. There's no reason I can't have both. There's no limit.
Nobody's going to steal your seat.
Right. But then you get to what you just said. Who wants to do it? Tiffany's on the far end
Oh
of
my
that
gosh,
spectrum.
my poor Tiffany.
Tiffany's idea is she wants to sit at the gate 2 hours ahead of time, and she still thinks she's going to miss the flight. That's the whole thing with Tiffany.
That's Tiffany.
She's worried she's going to miss the flight, and she's been at the gate for 2 hours.
Yes.
So that's
But
the three.
I
That's the
like
three
that.
divisions of our travel.
But I like that. I like the rush. I mean, to be fair, sometimes I really think I'm not going to make it. But I always make it, except when it's a connection that I missed because, I don't know, JFK was too busy and then I missed my connection because we took off late. But that wasn't on me. That was on the pilots and the air traffic control people, not my fault. I just like the pressure. I like the rush, the adrenaline. And you hate that about me.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I want to be calm, relaxed, have a glass of wine, get in my seat, relax.
Yet, when we have to go somewhere, you are always, oh gosh, this drives me crazy about this guy.
When we leave the house?
When we leave the house. I swear to God, like if I tell him, babe, we have to be at somewhere at, I don't know, 5 p.m. Okay, it's 4:30, we're about to leave. Oh, wait, I have to go to the bathroom. Is that a man thing? Like every time we have to leave the house, you have to go pee. It's like in your brain, boom, we're leaving, I gotta go pee.
Well, it wouldn't be bad if it was just having to go pee.
Or sometimes he goes, you know what I really need to do right
That's what
now?
I'm talking about.
Shave my arms. I'm like, oh, are you shaving your arms right now? We are leaving in 5 minutes. You're half naked. He's like, wait, well, I had some hair in my... I'm like, nobody cares you have hair in your arms at this point. Like, who cares?
You know
Well,
how
you're
much
gonna
these tattoos cost? I want to show them off.
Babe, your hair is blonde. You can see it through the hair. You're fine.
Yes,
But
well.
it drives me insane. Or if you have to go pick me up somewhere, I'm like, did you leave the house already? Well, no, because, I had to take the puppies out to pee, and then I had to go pee myself, and I was like, and shave, I guess? Like, why can you never be on time?
I can be on time. Sometimes it's just, I don't know, at the last second, I feel like I have to get something done.
Gosh, drives me crazy. I on the other hand, try to be on time.
Yeah, that
Try.
doesn't happen either.
I mean, because I think that there's not going to be traffic.
Right,
In my head, I'm fine. I'm looking at the map, but sometimes that changes.
right.
But yeah, but
Because when you plan things for the last minute. You plan things thinking that everything's going to work the way it's supposed to work. And what do I always tell you when planning?
you always have to allow for other people to fuck up.
Exactly. When you make your plans, always anticipate someone else that you're relying on is going to fuck up somewhere in the solution. So plan on if they fuck up,
See,
I'm allowing
that's you.
myself.
That's you
But no, wait, how many
manifesting it.
times have you been? And I'm not mansplaining that to you. How
Not
many times?
manifesting
Oh,
it.
manifest. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
thank
not,
you for...
Yeah.
Okay, now you're mansplaining
now
it.
I'm mansplaining you. No, what I'm saying is, especially when you go somewhere and you're on a deadline, you're like, oh, I'm going to get this, and this. How many times when you were like entering warehouses in LA when you were shipping stuff around, like, oh yeah, and I have the truck coming to get all the pallets on this time at 2 o'clock, and then we have to be at the airport at 5 to get on our flight. I'm like, you didn't allow for an extra day for them to be late for picking up a truckload of pallets.
See, there you go. You jinxed it.
No, but that's not me. It's like I'm telling you, you have to allow, because in every single time I've told you that, I'm like, what happened? Oh, well, they're late. Well, every single time.
Because you're thinking about
Yeah, it's me manifesting.
It's you manifesting. I've told you, if you manifest good things happen. But no, you're like my mom. You're like, oh, you're going to get sick. Boom, you get sick.
No, I just anticipate things could happen, and I plan for what if that happens.
And then it happens.
Yeah,
What
well.
if we win the lottery? Say it. You don't say it with good enough.
Intentions?
Intention.
Yeah, okay.
You just like me to fail, so you're right.
Well, so that definitely does happen.
Yeah, that's another thing. And also, again, like we said, like with the technology, right? Like with technology, gosh, when I try to tell you sometimes, like, babe, like you get frustrated with technology, right? There was this time that he broke an ATM because okay, so my husband is Wreck-It Ralph. If something is gonna break, is because he touched it. And his daughter, Tiffany, inherited that. So they're both Wreck-It Ralph, right? So he usually breaks things just by touching them. Technology, with him, it never works. When I take over, flawlessly. It works perfect. And I don't know why is that. You guys break things. And that time you were so frustrated with the ATM, and we were, I think, in Dallas in an ATM, and then you were just so yelling at it, and then at the end, like, it got your card, didn't give your card back. I don't know, you broke the ATM. And I was like, if you just calm down, let the machine think for a second, it will be fine. But no, you broke it. And with the computer is the same thing. I'm like, calm down, drag the file to your desktop. No, you want to do it so fast that you're just not able to just click and drag. You're double clicking. Or like when you have to double click, you just click.
I tell you, I can't handle the double click. It just drives me crazy.
It's like
I never get that right.
It's one click, or double click. It's like different pacing of stuff. If you act too fast on that.
Well, with that and the technology, you also, you and Tiffany both, apparently I don't know how to use the cameras on the Zoom correctly. So I end up getting way too close to the camera.
I know. Every time you put your ear on the camera.
Or
I'm
my
like,
face way up in the camera.
You're not. It's a camera. Like, back up. Especially now with the Zoom calls all the time. Oh my gosh. I'm like pulling him back up, because if you don't back up, it's like people just see.
I can't tell you how many conference calls we're on, Zoom calls, where all of a sudden I feel the back of my shirt being pulled back to lean me back because my face is up right up in the camera.
I know. The more the conversation goes, the more you start approaching the camera, and I have to just pull you back. Pull you back. That's fun. But see, it works.
Yeah.
Like, I love you with all your flaws and your.
Yeah, but if you, I guess we work through it. So the 25-year age gap is a thing. Older people have we do have more of a problem with technology, but sometimes we overcome that. Like, I have a lot of my friends my age that bitch constantly about checking themselves out at the grocery store. They hated it. And
you hated it.
I hated it in the beginning, but then I got to know it. Remember in LA, they wanted to give me a job at Ralph's because I was so good at all the codes. I was helping all the old people put the codes in. They're like, the manager goes, "Can we hire you? Because you're helping all these people check their stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, here it is. Here's the code for that."
When I started dating you 12 years ago, and growing up, I wanted to be a cashier, right? That was my dream job, a cashier at the grocery store. So I had all my toys, and I was playing the cashier. So when I came to America and I saw self-checkout, I was like, oh, this is my dream. This is my dream. And I always wanted to do the self-checkout. And with this guy, he's like, no, because the things never work right. No, because you're not pressing the right things, or always like, assistance needed. I was like, stop touching stuff. Hold on. Let the machine do its thing. But then now you love it, right?
No, I do love it. I do love it. The only thing I know is I have to analyze, okay, I have alcohol in the cart. How many trips they're going to have to make over here? So I cut a deal with them. Hey, can you come over here and knock off all the alcohol at once so you want to keep coming back?
Yeah.
But I generally know the codes on things. I know how to put it in. I feel good, especially when there's long lines, and all the old people, of course, are in the long lines. And I just like...
You mean your people?
Yes, all my people. And then I just zip right through the other side, knock it out.
Has its perks being married to me.
To a younger person that can help you with it. But we work it out. We get the technology done. I love technology. I can't tell how many times, oh my gosh, on Facebook or whatever, they're like, you see all these posts again from people my age. They're like, I miss the simpler times when we just drank out of a hose and we just played in the yard. And that was so simple. It's ironic that they're posting that on Facebook. But to me, I'm like, no, I don't miss that. I like walking in a place going, that's a really cool song. Here's my phone in my pocket. I'm going to hit one app. It Shazams it and tells me what it is. Oh, I like that. One click. It's now on my playlist in my iTunes, and I'm listening to it in 20 minutes while I'm working out.
That is true.
That is what I like. I like technology. I like to go, I don't need cash. Click, click, Apple Pay. Goodbye.
I love that.
I'm out of here. I love that. I don't want to carry a bunch of cash around with me like the world's coming to an end or it's 1955. I like technology. I like the new gadgets. I like the new things. I like AI. I like AI. You know, I'm pushing AI to take over the world apparently, because you're yelling at the machine to go faster.
I know. Yeah, when AI takes over, we're doomed.
I've seen Terminator. I know how it happens.
We're doomed
So-
because you're yelling at the computer.
Well, if you have any comments, you have any questions, we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to know what's going on. If you have, advice, suggestions, we'd love to hear it. Please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow us on all of our platforms, and we hope you're enjoying what's going on.